We're back again, but we're inside this time. Now the reason I haven't been uploading during the week, my friends, is because, you know, by the time I get in from work, I told you lot before, by the time I get in from work, I then have to tidy up the mess that the wife has made good. And then I have to cook dinner, you know. By the time I've cleaned up, cooked dinner, ate dinner, you know, washed up everything afterwards, it's about 9 o'clock. And, you know, so that's the reason. Those of you keep asking me why don't I upload during the week. That's why I don't have the time. I've got myself a spark plug here, right? My plan is to rule out the spark plug now. I'm not getting any spark on this mower, so I need to rule out that the plug is not the issue. Now I got this plug here. It ain't the same plug, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be putting it in. Any plug will work to test the spark. So this one, I know it's a bit dirty, it needs a clean. I've just taken it out of a mower that runs. I started it up, it runs, I know this plug works. So if I put that on there and pull it and we still don't get any spark, I know that it's an issue on the mower and the plug is not the thing to blame. Because when you're trying to troubleshoot, don't try and put a spark plug in with one hand. When you're trying to troubleshoot, what you need to do is you want to like rule out the easiest things first. I know we've already been in there and we've cleaned the rust and everything, but the easiest, well, I knew it was going to be rusty, that's why I went straight into there. But if you've just got an engine that all of a sudden stops working, yeah, first thing you want to do is check the spark, because if you go taking everything apart and it doesn't fix the problem, and then all of a sudden you test the spark, last thing, and that's the problem, you've wasted a load of time. So the easiest thing to do is check the easy things first. So you want to check your spark. So you want to put it in there like that. Put it up against the head somewhere so it's going to get a nice ground. It's a tricky place, man. Tricky when it. Oh, that'll do. I don't know if I'm going to see it from there. I won't better see it from there. I think I might be able to. No, I won't. Let me find a place. Right then, I've put that on there, pulled it a couple of times, and there is still no spark. So this means that we've still got issues down there somewhere. Might still be a bit of rust. I'll have to get the old. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, that's why. I'll have to get the old pull start off again and maybe give it another sand, give it another clean. We'll get there. Don't panic, man. The key is, in life, never ever panic. Right, something that I need to try and explain anyway. When you move these, when you undo that bolt there and that bolt there, because this is a magnet, right? It's going to suck it down if it's on the right place. If you take it off to sand the bottom of them, now the thing is with these points, right, they need to have a gap. I've got hold of engines before where they've been like right on there, you know, and rubbing on it. Now they need to have a gap. Now there probably is a foul or a measurement. For those of you that don't know, a foul is a unit of measurement. What these can be, but I don't know what that is for this engine. Plus I've lost my feeler gauges. I don't know where they are, which is quite annoying because I use them quite a lot. So what I've done, it doesn't actually look like it's the same from where I'm sitting now, but anyway, I put me flat bladed screwdriver under there and just had it at that gap. Now it's just a trial and error basically, because I don't know the actual measurement. I'm just going to leave it like that, see if I've got a spark. If I haven't, I'll put it down a bit. If there's still no spark, I'll put it down a little bit more until I'm literally nearly touching it. And if there's still no spark, well, then there's obviously a problem somewhere else. These tend to break down, crack up inside. I don't know if I've got another one. I might have another one on that other parts mower I've got actually. I'll have to see what happens. I might nick that off the other one if I have. But yeah, so you have to make sure you got the gap right there. If they're touching, then there's a problem. It's not going to work. If the gap's too big basically. So let's put it in there and make sure that that's right. If you've got a manual for your engine, you better get a set of feeler gauges and you better get the gap exactly the right measurement, and then that will be working its optimum performance. You want a nice well, if the gap's too big, you'll have a weak spark. If you want a nice thick blue spark on the end of your plug there, if you've got a little weak orange one, you've got problems, and it ain't going to be burning the fuel very well. Well, we're having a process of elimination here at the minute. I've just applied some engine degreaser because I'm trying to work out why we ain't got no spark. We've got no spark. I'm trying to work out what the problem is. While I was at it, I gave that a little bit of a poke about with a screwdriver. Got some of the gunk and dirt out of them fins. Obviously, after I know that I'm going to better get it running, then I'll give it a proper clean. So we've got our spark plug. I'm not quite sure where the actual spark plug has gone. Oh, it's over there. Don't panic, I haven't lost it. Taken the bolts off. I've taken the coil off. I thought I had a spare one on another mower, but I haven't. So if this is faulty, which at the moment I'm thinking it is, then we've got a problem. I'm thinking this is faulty at the minute, and I'll tell you for why. I did give it a quick test with the meter, continuity test. Now it's fairly obvious because this makes electric, which sends it up through this wire out here onto the top of the spark plug. Now this will obviously have to have continuity from here all the way up to the end of here. I did give it a quick test there onto this, but there was nothing. There was no continuity. So I've taken them off, I've checked it over, can't find any split wires or nothing. I'm going to give these another good old sand, another good old clean, and I have given inside there a bit of a sand with the Dremel. I got one of those shit Dremel copies. I give it a sand in there, but the problem is it ran out of battery. It was never very good. It's only 3.6 volts, but I did give it a sand in there, and it hasn't come out particularly well, but it's better than it was. I'm still not convinced it's going to make a particularly good connection, so I'm going to try and ram a bit of sandpaper in there as well and get a better result. But I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you the continuity. Hopefully we'll get continuity back, and then I should be able to get a spark after that, but I'm not holding out much hope. I might have to try and get another coil somewhere. I looked for a model, for a serial number on it. Can't get nothing on this coil there, so I might have a bit of problems finding it, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll better get continuity back and we'll be well away. Right, you'll have to excuse my rather strange and not correct way of setting this up, but I've had to rest the negative probe on there. I have tested it properly, so trust me, it's not working, but I'm just trying to show you. We'll get a beep when the continuity is there. Now it's resting on there, it's touching that one. If we touch that one, there's continuity through there. But if we come, well, even because that metal's touching the rest of it, there's continuity there. But this is obviously rubber insulated wire. Now if this is correct and it's working okay, there should be continuity from the end to there. Nothing. Now I have done this properly with both my hands and I've cleaned it. There's no continuity there, which means there's either a break in this wire, or, which is most likely to have happened, the coil has broken up inside. It's happened a few times to me on many things, and it's quite common, especially with something old. All the windings and whatever else is inside the coil just breaks up and doesn't work. So there's no continuity. There is no continuity in there. There should be, but there's not. There is here, and there probably will be if I was to touch the engine. Yep. If I touch the fuel tank, yep. But it's only doing that because that is leaning on this metal here. If it wasn't leaning on the metal, it wouldn't have any continuity, but it's only because it's leaning on there. But yeah, there should be continuity here, but there's not. So this coil is the fault. So I need to try and find myself a coil. Don't know where I'm going to find it yet, but I'm going to take it off, give it a clean up so I can actually see if there's any numbers on it, and I'll try and order myself one. I don't know where. I'm probably going to have to get a second hand one because I don't see I'm not going to be able to find a new one. I wouldn't have thought. Might be able to if I can find a number, but we'll have to see. But there's definitely 100% no continuity. So yeah, it's broken, man. I reckon it. You know what? It might even just be that wire, but you can't replace the wire. Look, it's all moulded in, I think. So that's that, my friends. This is going to have to be on pause for now then, until I can get myself a coil. I do know some lawnmower repairers. Can't remember their names, forgive me. But I know some of you watch my videos, so if you see this and you've got a coil laying about, let me know, man, because I'd be interested in purchasing it from you if you've got the same one. So yeah, stay tuned to see whether I get one or not. Sweet, man.